Field today with first pitch at 1:10 this afternoon. And the NBA Finals Game 7 is set for tomorrow in Oklahoma against the Thunder and the Pacers. Final game of the season starts at 7 p.m. Taking a look at your roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We have no major incidents out on the road at this time, so it should be a smooth drive for all of southeast Wisconsin.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today's going to be hot, humid, and muggy with a high of 96 degrees. Tomorrow, hot, humid, and sunny with a high of 98 degrees. Monday, isolated thunderstorms are expected with a high of 93 degrees. Tuesday, expect some scattered thunderstorms with a high of 81 degrees. And Wednesday, more thunderstorms are expected with a high of 85 degrees. Right now, in Madison, it's 81. In Green Bay, it's 80 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 82 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 79 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 9:09.
The following program, the Fox World Travel Show, is paid for in full by Fox World Travel. The advice and opinions expressed during the Fox World Travel Show are solely that of the hosts and guests of Fox World Travel and not WTMJ or Good Karma brands. Need a vacation? Whether it's the trip of a lifetime or a weekend getaway, we can help. This is the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, every single day.
Welcome to the Fox World Travel Show. Andrea in for Rose Gray today because Rose is traveling with Gene Miller.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's pretty nice outside today, so can't complain.
Well, nice right now.
It's hot actually. It's
I was
hot.
going to
It's
say,
hot and
in
windy.
about 3 hours, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's sweltering out here.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
When the breeze blows and you're like, please stop.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot
Then you
wind.
know it's hot. So good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back.
So Rose is on traveling to, where are they, Scotland?
They're in
right
Scotland,
now?
her and Jean, and a
Okay.
whole group of listeners and friends and family of Jean's. They're all on a really great trip in Scotland right now. I got a text from Rose this morning that they are just having a super great time and really just enjoying everything that Scotland has to offer. She did want me to mention that we do have the trip with Jean next year in May, the Portugal vineyards and villages along the Douro River with 3 nights in Lisbon with Jean. There are several people on the Scotland trip that are already telling her they are signing up as soon as they get back home from this trip.
Okay.
So just want to make sure if that has been on your radar, something you were thinking about, definitely look into doing that sooner rather than later, just knowing that space could become less available as the next couple weeks go on. There is actually an early booking discount that is good for the next 9 days through the 30th. It's a $250 per person discount as an early booking discount if you do book before the 30th. So definitely take advantage of that. That's a nice little savings. This trip is really cool. Portugal and the Douro River, it has been really, really, really popular the last couple of years. Some of the river cruise companies that we do business with have built new ships because they have to have specific ships for the Douro because of the depth of the water. It's much shallower than some of the other rivers in Europe. But this one is really cool. Yeah, you have that 3-night extension in Lisbon. It's a really, really pretty itinerary. And again, Gene is just absolutely an amazing person to travel with. So he's always a great time to go anywhere with. But this itinerary is something that's been on my radar as well, too.
So why is it seems like travel's almost cyclical. Like you said, it's hot right now. Why is Portugal suddenly the place? Like Costa Rica for a while, everybody I talked to was going to Costa Rica. Now, like, why does that happen?
Yeah, things ebb and flow. It kind of depends. Sometimes the state of the world kind of dictates where things are popular and where they're not. Sometimes it's the East Coast and the West Coast folks have something to kind of do with that. If all of a sudden, like, the East Coasters all start traveling to a specific place, then it kind of like moves its way through the rest of the Midwest. So we're usually a little late to get on board with some of the trends, but that's okay because prices usually come down a little bit when it becomes popular for us. But yeah, just the last couple of years, really people have taken a really big interest in visiting Portugal and Spain. I think for a while it tended to be not again on people's radar as they were thinking of Europe. But it's got a lot of rich culture, a lot of history, amazing food, amazing people that live there. So yeah, I think it's just something that's been kind of slowly coming in, and they know that particular river, as people have traveled on other rivers, like the Danube is really popular, the Rhine River is popular. They've done that. They want something different. So the Douro is that for them.
All right. We do have to take a break. When we come back, we'll tell you what you're going to get when you text FWT to 855-616-1620. That's also the number you can call or text if you want to talk travel. It's the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
Don't miss the largest vacation sale in the nation coming this July. It's Fox World Travel's exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations and Celebrity Cruises. July is the best time of the year for unbeatable deals you won't get anywhere else. Get the hottest cruise deals or plan ahead for 2026 all-inclusive resorts paired with nonstop flights. Let Fox World Travel book your vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive list. Sale starts soon.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Summer is finally here. We're outside and maybe noticing the condition of our old windows. Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors, your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient replacement windows. Boost your curb appeal with top brands like Pella, Anderson, and Marvin, tailored to fit your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, installation by employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, all on display in their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Planning a vacation? We've got you covered. You're listening to the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
You can find the Fox World Travel Show podcast on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. It also gets uploaded to foxworldtravel.com. So I teased the fact that when we text FWT to 855-616-1620, you get a link back of some sort. What is it this week?
I'm really excited this week. This is if you text in FWT 855-616-1620, you are going to get a link that will allow you to register for our vacation travel showcase coming up this fall. I know we've talked about it briefly in the past. It's not until September. That seems like a lifetime away, but it really will come up quicker than you think, I promise. This is the second year that we've done this. We are moving venues this year. We're actually hosting it at EAA in Oshkosh at the EAA Museum. If you have never been before, I highly recommend visiting if you can. I am actually a museum member, and we go fairly often just because aviation just runs through my veins, obviously. But it's really going to be cool. So if you come to our showcase, it is a completely free event. It is going to be just a day of travel inspiration, education. We're going to have a lot of our travel partners there with us, a lot of the companies that we do business with, a lot of cruise lines, tour companies, maybe some airline reps, some destinations. So like the Jamaica Tourist Board is going to be there. So if there are specific destinations that you're interested in, they might be there as well. But really, and we're going to have breakout sessions for some of those partners. So really, if you want to know more about different travel styles, different travel companies, you can attend some of those breakout sessions. We have lots of giveaways that we do while we're there. Gene was there, or Steve Scafidi and Gene Miller were there last year. They did a little podcast with Rose, so that was kind of fun. And if you attend, you actually get free entrance to the museum as well. So you can hang around and you can go visit and see all of the cool aviation history and all things that the museum has to offer. So if you text that number, text FWT to 855-616-1620, it will bring you to a link that you can register for that showcase. It is on September 20th. That is a Saturday. And it is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So register now. We had to close registration after like 2 weeks last year. Part of the reason why we moved venues to EAA this year is because we could double our capacity. So we're really excited to get that many more people in through the door and have the opportunity to meet and talk all things travel. It'll be really exciting.
Awesome. Yeah. You guys hadn't done it for a few years prior to last year.
Yep.
And the response of everybody going, yes, we're live again and we're getting together was huge. So good that it's doubled up. And that museum is really cool. So the fact that you get to go in for free is really neat. So
you can talk all things travel, all things aviation all day with us. We'll be there.
There we go. That number, 855-616-1620, is also the number you can text or call in with your questions. This one says, we are considering going to Punta Cana in the middle of January with a large group. We are concerned about seaweed in the ocean and beach. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I'm really passionate about this topic because we have to talk about it a lot with our travelers that go to Mexico and the Caribbean. So it's not actually seaweed. It's something called sargassum. It's like this very grassy type, and I don't know if this is true or not, so don't hold me to this, but what I have heard from people, from locals that live there, is that there's been an abundance of it the last several years because there's been heavier rainfall in the Amazon and over in some of the other continents, and it's bringing in the nutrients from the soil into the water. So like the sargassum, the grass in the water, is just growing like crazy, and then it all migrates its way right over to the east coast of Mexico and the Caribbean. It's really not predictable, unfortunately. So sometimes you go and there's a few of them just floating in the water, nothing that you can't just move out of the way. And sometimes you go and it is bad. It can be 10, 20 feet out from the beach, thick, mucky, sargassum. And the workers do a really fantastic job of trying to clean it up every single day. They have huge tractors out there. They're raking all day long, and then they bury it. Just because the nutrients help with the sand and things like that. But January doesn't tend to get a lot of it. Again, if we're trying to follow trends over the last couple years, and the Dominican Republic doesn't see nearly as much of it as what like Cancun, Riviera Maya sees. We have been hearing the reports a little bit in Jamaica and a little bit in Punta Cana right now, but I'm guessing by January it may clear up. It's just, again, it's one of those things where it's not super predictable, and it's not pretty. I understand when I go, though, that it's just something that we can't control. It's Mother Nature, and it's, they're doing their best they can to try and clean it up. But I would say Punta Cana's got a lot of other really cool things to offer. Beach is definitely one of them, but I wouldn't not go just at the thought of the sargassum. It's not too terrible.
All right, we're going to take another break. Get your calls and texts in at 855-616-1620. It is the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
Planning a getaway? Reserve a parking space that includes superior service and value. Exec Park is the only local family-owned valet parking serving travelers using Mitchell Field for over 42 years. Exec Park has an even greater deal for a limited time just for WTMJ fans. It's just $8.50 a day with cash payment when you mention WTMJ. To get terrific valet parking at this amazing rate, make your required parking reservation today. Call 414-747-1000 or visit execpark.com and tell them you're a fan of WTMJ. The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Refresh your home today with window images, blinds, and shades. We have everything you need to update your window treatments. We carry vinyl, aluminum, and faux wood blinds, cellular shades, and more. Plus, get them trimmed to width in store for free. Also, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in Southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top-notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Take your travel tips from the travel experts. Welcome back to the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a hot one. Sunny, muggy, a high of 96. Heat advisories throughout the area throughout the weekend. So stay cool if you can. Don't go outside if you don't have to. And yeah, it's not going to be nice. So let's go to our phone line here. Side Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Does Fox World Travel have any group travel this year in the Middle East that might need to be canceled because of military conflicts?
That's a great question and something that I think a lot of people are mindful of right now. The only one that I would say is probably on a watch for us is that we do have Splendors of Egypt and the Nile with Colleen departing at the end of October of this year. So that's something that we're kind of keeping an eye on. The beautiful thing about the companies that we choose to do business with and that we hold group space on is that they are very, very reputable, well-known companies that absolutely do take traveler safety into consideration on all things that they do. So we would rely on them to dictate and determine whether or not they felt like it was something that needed to be canceled or rescheduled. So as things continue to progress, if they say, hey, you know what, there's new travel advisories or warnings that we should be mindful of, we're going to go ahead and cancel this trip, then obviously we would, provide those details to anybody that was booked on that particular tour. The thing with travel, it's super volatile and things can change really quickly. So I know your mom was there. Was it September or October?
September, October of last year, and she said not once did they ever feel not safe. That it was great. The tour guides were great. The accompanying security, there was some security at different points that they had with, but they never needed to do anything. So
yeah, typically when we go, we've gone with Insight Vacations and we've gone with Globus before, and with both of them, the Egyptian government actually sends security with these groups. It's not optional. So they had security with them, which was really great. And again, we definitely want to make sure that we're not putting anybody in a bad situation or anything like that. So yeah, Insight, Globus, Trafalgar, any of the tours that are companies that we do business with, that is something that they obviously are keeping an eye on and again being really mindful of, and would let us know if that was something.
And the fact that the government is sending security along shows the importance of tourism to their economy, and they don't want anything to happen to tourists while they're there. And
yeah, when I went in 2019. And we had the same thing. And I was like, is this really necessary? And we got to know the guy pretty well. He was kind of our age and was kind of learned to be comfortable with us. But he said, they really just do this for show. Like, it's just to make people feel like, that they're being protected. But it made me feel better for sure along the whole way. And again, I just felt like I was being looked after and they were just being really, aware that was a concern that some of the U.S. citizens visiting had.
Yeah. It's just like knowing there's a marshal on your plane, right? If something goes wrong, somebody in that plane's there. You don't know who, but somebody's there.
I remember being in Cancun with a couple of my friends who had never been there before, and they had, big military guys with these big AKs on four-wheelers driving up and down the Cancun beaches, and they're like, "Is this necessary?" And I'm like, "It's for show. They're just trying to make sure you feel safe." And they do. They value tourism is their bread and butter. If anything happens to tourists or anything, gets out in the media, it can be really, really detrimental for them. So they really want to just make sure, again, anyone that's there visiting is well protected, feels really safe, and that there's not anything that's going to go wrong.
Yep. This text here says we went to Portugal a few years ago before it became super popular. It's beautiful. You can do many day trips from Lisbon. Really affordable. Food and wine costs much less than other parts of Europe. So that trip we were talking about is if you go to foxworldtravel.com, click on vacation or the little hamburger, as you say, up, Andrea, up in that top left-hand corner. That's the menu button. You'll see vacation travel. Then you can click on group travel, Fox Group Vacations, and you'll see that trip with Gene Miller next year going on that trip. Right now, they're actually in Scotland, and you said a lot of people on that trip are telling Rose, as soon as we get back, we're going to fill out the form and join them in Portugal.
They're having such a good time with Rose and Gene. They're looking for their next one.
Yeah, and Steve Scaffidi's on that trip with them. Did you know that?
I did. I heard a little rumor that Steve was going to be on that trip.
You're just
with
like,
them.
hey, I'm going with you guys. He bought onto the trip, and he's out there with them
All
having
those
fun
guests
too,
got a twofer, and they didn't even realize it.
I know. Amazing. So before we go to the news, tell everybody what Fox World Travel does. We talk a lot of group travel here, but what else can they get?
Yeah, Fox does a little bit of everything. We really do a lot with business travel, corporate travel. That's not my area of expertise. I'm on the vacation side. I'm on the fun side. But anything that you can, if you can dream it, we can make it happen for you. We help with air. We help with car. We help with hotels, cruises, river cruises, land tours, guided tours, anything that you can think of. We want to be able to be there, and be your advocate, help you along the way, make sure you're getting the best available options for you. We really value getting to know our travelers and building those relationships. So we really are recommending things that make the most sense for you.
Awesome. So check them out, foxworldtravel.com, or call 866-GO-FOX-GO Monday through Friday. That's from 9 to 5?
9 to 5.
9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 866-GO-FOX-GO. Now we go over to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Sean Brinda. Good morning, Sean.
Morning, Dayton. With an extreme heat with an extreme heat warning this weekend, Milwaukee health officials are urging people to stay safe. Forecasts indicate dangerously hot conditions with heat index values up to 105 expected. People are encouraged to drink plenty of water, limit their time outdoors, and never leave children or pets in vehicles. Cooling sites will be open to provide relief from the heat. For a list of cooling centers, text the word COOL to the WTMJ Sighting Unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620. And another Milwaukee tap room is closing. Owners of the 1840 Brewing Company have announced that they will be closing their doors for good on July 29th. Kyle and Stephanie Vetter says they're closing due to the challenging market, and fighting stage 4 pancreatic cancer has become too much for business operations to continue. The Vetters thank the community for their years of support and say the brewery will have one final beer release before shutting its doors. Taking a look at your roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We have no major incidents out on the road at this time, so it should be a smooth drive for southeast Wisconsin.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today is going to be mostly hot with a high of 96 degrees. And then as we head into Sunday is going to be a little more hotter with a high of 98 degrees. Monday, isolated thunderstorms are expected with a high of 93 degrees. Tuesday, expect some scattered thunderstorms with a high of 81 degrees. On Wednesday, more thunderstorms are coming our way with a high of 85 degrees. Right now in Madison, it is currently 82 degrees. In Green Bay, it's currently 81 degrees. In Waukesha, it's currently 83 degrees. Right here in Milwaukee, it's currently 80 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 9:32.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 24th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in June 24th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Why settle for just a job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
Plan a perfect vacation, no matter your budget. This is the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a hot one today, so be ready if you're going outside. Heat advisories throughout the area all weekend long. Dayton Kane here with Andrea Pradarelli. Rose Gray is out. She's hosting a trip with Gene Miller. We talked about his trip for next year in Portugal, so make sure you get in on that before they all come back from Scotland and take up all the rest of the seats on that trip. Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line is 855-616-1620. If you text FWT to that number, what happens, Andrea?
You are going to get a link to register for our fall travel showcase, which is going to be in Oshkosh at the EAA Museum on September 20th. And again, this is going to be your opportunity to meet with a lot of our travel experts, to meet with our travel partners, get some really good ideas to add to your future bucket list of where you're looking at going, get some travel styles. Again, we'll have river cruise represented, we'll have big ship cruise, we'll have land tours, fun and sun, which we would consider like the all-inclusive Mexico Caribbean, train travel. We have all sorts of our good partners that are going to be represented there. We will have breakout sessions, and best news of all, you get to get free admission into the EAA Museum, so you can hang around and go visit all the things that EAA has to offer.
Nice. And you guys gave away some really cool prizes last year. I can't wait to see what you
We gave away some really cool stuff last year. Yeah, our partners were really, really kind to us. There were some cruises. There were some flights that some airline tickets that we gave away. And we had some like goodie grab bags that we gave throughout the day as well. So with that, were some suitcases that had some really cool fun stuff in it. So yeah, it should be a really exciting event. Again, last year we capped it at 500, and we hit that number very expeditiously, and we had to shut down registration. So we are looking to be able to double that this year, being at the new venue. And again, it should just be a really good time. I'm going to be there. Rose is going to be there. We might have some other special guests from WTMJ that might join us this year too. So yeah, definitely get on the list now before registration closes. Again, that is F as in Fox, W as in World, T as in Travel. I know sometimes that defaults autocorrects to get or thanks or a few other things. So make sure you're putting all capital letters, capital F, capital W, capital T, and you'll get that link to register.
855-616-1620. Let's get to a text here. It says, do you have experience with finest all-inclusive resort in Punta Cana? What would be a couple of other all-inclusives with similar price range and amenities?
Yeah, I'm actually really familiar with that property. For those that are that know big name brands, they are owned by the Excellence properties. So Excellence is the adults only version. Finest is the family friendly version. So it is definitely a 5-star luxury property that is on a fantastic stretch of beach. They have really, really great food options, lots of restaurant options. The service is always really fantastic. They're great pools. I love that hotel. I absolutely am a big fan. So if that fits with what it is that you're looking for, I definitely recommend. I would probably, there are a few others that I would say would fit probably that same bill if that's kind of what you're looking for. Dreams Onyx is another really good one. That's owned by the Hyatt Inclusive Collection. So like the Secrets, the Dreams, the Breathless, that's the family-friendly version of Secrets. That's on a really great stretch of beach too. Hyatt Ziva is also another really great one. There's Hyatt Zilara, Hyatt Ziva. Zilara is the adults-only version. Ziva is for the kids. That one's in Cap Cana. So it's kind of in this gated community where there's a lot of golf courses nearby and, again, a really good stretch of beach. So those would probably be the three that I would look at. If Finest has been on your radar, Dreams Onyx, Hyatt Ziva, Cap Cana, I think both of those would be really good options too.
Okay, so when it comes to places like that, will we see stuff like that in the July sale? Like what can we expect with the July sale this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So the July sale is the largest sale of the year that we have. Typically, we have it just with Apple Vacations. For those that are familiar with those ENVF nonstop charter flights that Rose talks a lot about that go out of Milwaukee and Chicago and Rockford this year, we pair those with some really good savings that we get from select partners throughout Mexico and the Caribbean, wherever those ENVF flights go. So we are still working with hotels to see which ones want to participate in the sale. I got a sneak peek the other day, and there's some really good ones on there. A lot of good brands that I think a lot of our travelers are familiar with. And anything that's 3 nights or longer paired with those ENVF nonstop flights out of Milwaukee, Chicago O'Hare, or Rockford, we can find some really good savings for you throughout. Typically, it's going to be January, February, March when those charters operate. This year, we're doing something a little different, and for those that may be more geared towards cruising, we're partnering with another one of our really good partners with Celebrity and offering some really fantastic savings with them as well. So if all-inclusive land is going to be kind of something you're interested in, we have lots of options for that. And then again, this year we're really excited to bring cruise for the first time. And there's 4 or 5 ways that you can actually find savings with those Celebrity cruises. So we'll talk a little bit more as we continue to get further in. But my big message today is going to be what we call get on the list now. If you know you want to travel anytime in 2026, definitely reach out to one of our advisors right now so you can, again, build that relationship, work with them, tell them exactly what it is you're looking for, the dates, the travel style, budget, where you've been before. They're going to ask a lot of those questions to really get to know you and what it is that you and your potential family or travel partners are looking for. And we can start that ball rolling now. So as soon as that sale hits, we don't have to waste time, getting into the details then. We can just really start working on getting you some ideas, some quotes, some proposals to find what is going to make the most sense for your future travel.
So to do that, you go to foxworldtravel.com. If you click Visit Vacation Travel, the page will pop up, and down in the right-hand corner is a little yellow goldenrod box that says Plan Your Trip. Click on that. Fill out as much information as you can on here. It does ask for a departure date. Put something in there. If you don't know the departure date, just put in a date. Put in today's date. But the important part is describing what you want as in detail as you can. How many people are going? When do you want to go? Basically, is it January, February next year? Is it May, June next year? Does it not matter? Where do you want to go? Do you not know? As much information you get there, that'll get it into the right hands of the person that makes the most sense at Fox World Travel, because you have people who specialize in certain areas around the world.
We do. Yep. We really dive deep into those online inquiries that we get to really match you up with the person that, again, makes the most sense. And it's okay if you don't know any of those details. If you just know you want to go somewhere and you're not sure what maybe your budget can get you or anything like that, that's fine. You can put that in there too. We'll have conversations with you. We will help you narrow it down. We will talk through all the available options for you. And again, really just making sure that we're pairing you up with what you want and what you can dream.
That's why you're called travel advisors.
We are. We do a lot of advising. And if you don't want to do the online lead form, you can certainly always just give us a call. You can stop into any of our physical branch locations if you're near one of our 6 locations between Appleton and De Pere and Milwaukee. We have 6 locations kind of throughout southeastern Wisconsin. But again, you can always just pick up the phone and give us a call too. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, and the number is 866-GO-FOX-GO. But otherwise, again, feel free to fill out that form online, and we will connect with you within a day or so and make sure we're getting you to the right person.
It is the Fox World Travel Show. We'll be right back on WTMJ.
Hey, boaters! Inexperienced boaters are more than welcome here, because at Kendor Marine you'll find all the answers to your questions on parts, installation, troubleshooting, and the best part is, when we figure out what you need, we can grab it from our massive inventory of boat parts and supplies that no one around can match. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin. Hey, boaters!
boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
Where else are you going to find weather stripping for a 77 Carver? That's what he said, and I don't know the answer to that one, but he sure was glad he found it here. I'm Dave Doro with Kendor Marine, and when it comes to boat parts and supplies, we have it all. If you're a boater and you need it, we got it. And that's why you got to get here. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
It's worth $100 now to save thousands later. Vince Vitrano for Urban Heating and Cooling. Family-owned business. Ryan and his wife, Ellie. I had Ryan out to the Vitrano house for an AC tune-up. Cleaned out all the coils, checked for any issues that could cause breakdowns, set up my air conditioner to run more efficiently all summer. This service available in your home for just $99 plus tax, saving on your electric bills, helping prevent more costly repairs down the road. Tell them Vinny sent you when you call. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
We hope you've been hitting your spots on the mound, because if you leave anything over the plate, it's going to be mini so gone.
For Collins, who gets into one to right field. Deep at the track, it is gone!
The Brewers head to Minnesota to take on the Twins.
Isaac Collins, a two-run blast, and the Brewers on the board first.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Summer savings don't get any better than Colder's 4th of July weekend sale. From June 20th to July 7th, shop Colder's. Unbeatable deals store-wide and save thousands on your next home upgrade. At Colder's, they guarantee that you're getting the best deal in town, but during their 4th of July weekend sale, you can stack your discounts for even more savings. Save 60% on furniture and mattresses. Take an additional 10% off. Wow, that's a great deal. I've just shopped at Colder's. Great service, great showrooms. You're going to love it. Plus, you can save on appliances, too. Take an additional 5% off on top appliance deals you won't find anywhere else. Colder's has a huge selection of kitchen and laundry appliances from all your favorite brands, and you're guaranteed to get the best price only at Colder's. There are 4 Colder's locations: West Dallas, Oak Creek, Delafield, and Grafton. Hurry on in or shop online at Colders.com. Don't miss out on their 4th of July weekend sale going on from June 20th to July 7th.
Get more for your money at Colders.
Gotta get away? No one does it better. Back to more of the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
Dayton Kane here with Andrea Pradarelli. Rose Gray out this week. Is she back next week?
She will be back next week.
She will be back next week. Heat advisories throughout the area today. It's going to be 96 and muggy today.
Yuck.
So can we go to Alaska where it's like 55, 60 right now?
Let's talk about Alaska.
Yeah.
What's weird is the last couple of years that we've had a lot of our groups in Alaska during the summer months, is that it was actually nicer and warmer in Alaska than it was here. But it also was like weird dates in Wisconsin where it ended up being like a 55-degree day and it was 65 in Alaska.
Sure.
But it's always fun because Colleen and Rose will often, like send us messages like showing what the weather looks like there. And those two just have like a rabbit's foot in their back pocket, I think, because the weather is always super great when they take their groups out. They always get to see Denali when Denali's out in all of its glory, which only like typically 20 or 30% of the people that go get to see. But
yeah, did you see Colleen's picture this week?
It was perfect. She's a photography phenom, that one too. She's so good at that. But yeah, Alaska season is in full swing right now. We had our first group go 2 weeks ago. Colleen is there right now with our second group, and we have a couple more between now and the end of August. And we usually do about 5 or 6 groups between May and September. May and September tend to be the shoulder months, so typically June, July, and August is when we have our groups go. But I did just want to make mention that we do still have availability for our 2026 Alaska groups. Again, there are several to choose from, and there's a couple different ways that we do Alaska too. Some of them are Alaska and Denali. Some of them are Alaska and the Yukon, where you actually get up into Canada to really kind of see that old style, and where they have the clapboard streets and, some of that kind of fun stuff. So lots of different ways that you're able to see it. Colleen's taking a couple out. Rose is taking one out. So if you ever had interest in traveling with the two of them, they're always a really great time. But as long as we, hit our group minimums, we typically are going to send a tour manager regardless on the groups that you're seeing on there. So there, again, are several to choose from. There even is the Alaska Winter Wonders and Northern Lights that we've never done before in March. I know it's crazy to think about going to Alaska in March, but that really is the best time to see those Northern Lights and get some really cool pictures. But yeah, all sorts of Alaska to choose from. I'll help direct listeners to where we can find those again. So on foxworldtravel.com, in the left-hand side, that menu hamburger icon, if you click on that, hover over vacation travel, and then find group travel, you can see all of the available Alaska tours, the Portugal trip that we talked about with Jean coming up next year. So all sorts of good stuff that you can kind of peruse through and see if there's anything that's kind of speaking to you.
And you have all different dates for Alaska here. You got March, you got May, June, you got July, August. So lots of choices, like you said. So.
Yeah, and we get a lot of questions about, like, is there a better time to go? And there's going to be pros and cons no matter which day you look at. Again, May and September, that's when season starts and season ends. So we call that shoulder season. Prices are typically a little bit better during that time, but if you go in May, it's still, the weather may be a little bit more unpredictable, and you might not see as many animals just because they maybe haven't come out yet, or maybe they haven't had the babies yet. They're being a little bit more protective. And if you go in September, sometimes that's the end of the season, so things are kind of wrapping up. There might not be as many gifts in the gift shop to choose from, or they might not have all of the available steak options to choose from at the restaurant if they're out. But June, July, August, they're always such great times to go. And again, we Fox World Travel sends more people to the state of Alaska than anybody else in Wisconsin. And we've been doing it for so long. I think Colleen is on her 40th. I think this is her 40th trip to Alaska. This one right here. Rose has been, I don't know, I'm going to make up a number, but 18, 19 probably at this point. So we really know how to do Alaska well. We've really worked with our partners to narrow down which departure dates, which tours. We customize a little bit just based on what we know we want. We spend an extra day in Denali because we want to give people the opportunity to see all the things that Denali has to offer. So Alaska is, again, it's always going to be one of those really popular destinations. For a lot of people, it's a one and done. It's a big bucket list trip, and we want to make sure we're doing it the right way. So definitely check out some of those trips.
All right. We have an interesting text that came in we'll get to when we come back from the break about insurance. I don't think anybody's ever asked this question before on the show, as long as I've been doing it anyway. 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. If you want to talk travel, that's what number you need to call or text. It is Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Midday News is back at the big gig. With all the music,
The Killers,
food,
give me that sampler platter,
sights and sounds,
I'll see you on the Skyglider
that Summerfest has to offer.
Tune in each Thursday of the festival from noon to 3 to hear me, Greg Matzik,
and me, Jessica Ty,
broadcasting live from the Pella Windows and Doors mobile studio.
It's Wisconsin's Midday News, live from Summerfest.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited recently completed an amazing project. Imagine a backyard with a beautiful deck, automated pergola, and an outdoor kitchen with an amazing outdoor fireplace as its focal point, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by our beautiful showroom in Waukesha or visit our website at outdoorlivingunlimited.com.
The Kane table from Penny Mustard is more than just a table.
It's hosted countless brunches.
It's where important documents are signed.
And where family meetings are held.
It's headquarters for homework,
craft projects,
board games,
and the wrapping of various gifts.
It's not about food.
It's about memories.
So it's gotta last.
It will, for generations to come.
The Kane dining room table with 6 encore chairs starting at $61.97 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, and Loyal Family Renovations, they saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service in just 2 days. My roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Before you pack your suitcase, hear from the experts. Here's more of the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ.
The Bloody Mary Festival is going on at the Harley-Davidson Museum today. Do you drink Bloody Marys?
This is a very probably unpopular opinion in the state, but I don't like Bloody Marys.
I don't either. Yeah. Hey, I found the other person.
Yeah, not my
I always feel guilty admitting that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like them. I'm supposed to, but I don't. All right. Dayton Kane here with Andrea Pradarelli. Rose Gray back next week for the Fox World Travel Show. Let's get to this text that came in because it's interesting because I've never thought of this. July sale. If you book now and the price goes down, I realize you can use your insurance to take advantage of the low pricing. Is that true?
With Apple Vacations, if you take their insurance, there's lots of different insurance options that you have, but if you take their insurance, they typically offer a cash back option or a credit back option if you needed to cancel. If you take that insurance, it does have price protection built into it. So if the exact same package, it has to be the same flights, same hotel, same date, same everything. If it goes down after you book, you do get that lower price.
Okay, and then the rest of the question was, but can you still use your insurance for an emergency later then?
Yes, that's actually a great question. But yes, you absolutely can. The only way you wouldn't be able to is if you actually needed to, what we would consider to be filing a claim on the insurance. So if you needed to cancel and rebook, that takes your insurance to do that. If you were traveling and something happened and you needed to file a claim on there, that is, again, filing a claim on the insurance policy, but rebooking for that lower price does not do that. So you absolutely can still use the insurance for all the things that the insurance is intended for later on.
So that's just part of the insurance plan is that you can take advantage of the lower price if it's the same exact package.
You got it.
So, good question.
That's a great question.
I don't think we've ever had that, like I said. Next one here says, is there a travel season for Antarctica?
There is a travel season for Antarctica. Typically, you're going to find most travel packages are going to be offered in like late October into March, and each month within that time frame has something a little bit different to offer. We were just talking about this on the break, but in the beginning of the season, so like October, November, that's the very start of the season. So you can snowshoe because the snow is still there and there's softer snow for being able to snowshoe. They have penguin courtship and nest building, and the birds start to return during that time. So you can kind of see that. December and January is the peak of the summer. So you're going to find the most December, January, and maybe into February because there's warmer temperatures, longer days, more chances to see the wildlife because, again, the babies are being born, the birds are returning, all of those kinds of things. And February and March is good for whale watching, but the weather can be a little bit more unpredictable. So my recommendation would be look at December, January, but really anytime October through March, you should be able to get some cool things to be able to see.
Okay, before we wrap up, what happens when we text FWT to 855-616-1620?
You are going to get a link to register for our vacation travel showcase, which again is happening at EAA Museum in Oshkosh on September 20th. Again, I know that sounds like it's a really long ways away, but we do typically have to shut down registration for these events because we do have a capacity limit. This is your opportunity, again, to meet with our travel experts, to talk all things travel, get ideas, learn about different travel partners that maybe, or travel brands that you haven't heard about before. Maybe you have never heard about Rocky Mountain, and Rocky Mountaineer does really a fantastic train travel through Banff and some of the national parks, and maybe that's something that you haven't thought about. So it's just inspirational. It'll give you some ideas, some really cool things to think about. You get to visit the museum itself and get access to that, so that's kind of a really fun thing to do. But definitely text in, or you can always visit our website, foxworldtravel.com. The link to register is right on that homepage. We put it right on there, easy access for you as well. But registering early is going to be key, again, because we will likely have to shut down registration once we hit capacity.
And yeah, last year you hit it real quick. So now's the time to get in and get that done. Okay, we've got about 2 minutes left. Give a synopsis again of what you guys can all help people with at Fox World Travel.
Yeah, Fox World Travel, if you can dream it, we can make it happen for you. So we do business travel. So anything related to corporate travel, we can help with that. We do meetings and incentives. So if you work for a company and they do incentive trips or they do meetings off-site someplace, team building, things like that, we help with that. We have a team that does that. And we do vacation travel, which can include destination weddings, custom independent travel. So anything that you want to build as a custom tour, we can. Group travel. We have a lot of really great group offerings. We work with a lot of companies that you can even book into groups outside of ours. And again, anything that's really, anything independent, anything custom that you want, we can help build it for you from the ground up. We really want to make sure we're getting to know you, ask all of the right questions, talk about travel style, travel dates, who's going, where you've been before, what your travel preferences are, and we'll custom something from there for you.
Can I use the same travel advisor over and over again?
Oh my gosh, you absolutely can.
Can I use somebody else if I don't want to use that travel advisor?
Absolutely can. Yeah, a lot. We have team members that have been here for 20, 30 plus years, and they have helped with the honeymoon to the baby moon to the kids' graduation, and now they're doing honeymoons for their grandkids, and like it's just really cool to watch that happen. But we also do a lot of travel sharing. So if you walk into one office and you want Jamaica, they'll put you with a Jamaica specialist. If that next person on your next trip isn't really that familiar with Disney and you want Disney, we'll get you in the hands of a Disney specialist. So whatever, whatever you want, whatever your preferences are, we will help make it work for you.
All right, the fastest show on the radio is done. Thank you for coming in this week. I know it's a drive for you to get here, so
it's always happy to be here and talk travel. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Rose will be back next week. That does it for the Fox World Travel Show. FoxWorldTravel.com is the place to check it out.
The preceding program, the Fox World Travel Show, is paid for in full by Fox World Travel. The advice and opinions expressed during the Fox World Travel Show are solely that of the hosts and guests of Fox World Travel and not WTMJ or Good Karma Brands.
If you haven't called Siding Unlimited for new windows, what are you waiting for? This is Eric